Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name's Jade, and this is How to App on iOS. And today we're taking a blast from the past. We're taking a look at Sector by Kymatica. So let's Hello, welcome to the show. My name is Jade, and this is How to App on iOS, and I hope you are doing okay. Yeah, all right. Blast from the past today. This is a 10-year-old app that has had not much love for about 4 years, but still very, very worthy to be actually doing a show on. I've never actually done a show on it and kind of thought maybe I should, because I'm sure it has a lot of value to a lot of people who still use it and to those who may not have discovered it before. It is, of course, Sector by Kymatica, and Kymatica also make great apps such as Audio Share and AUM, so it's all kind of tied together, if you know what I mean. Yes, before we say anything else, it is inter-app audio only. It's not an AUv3. But I know, Apple was supposed to phase out this nonsense of inter-app audio. It's still going. Does it work perfectly? Not always, but there's a way to use it. Can it be used in Logic? No, not at all. But there's apps that can sneakily allow you to use it. Does it work in GarageBand? Yes, because GarageBand uses inter-app audio, and so does AUM, and so does a whole bunch of other apps. So it still has a lot of great uses, as you're going to see. Let's say hello to the folks who are here in the chat, and then we'll get straight into it and rock and roll. Gary Hubbs has liked and shared. Thank you, Gaza. Leela's pumped for this app. She says hello, and to everyone, hello. Thomas Christ says, great show, Leela. Of course. Great show, Leela. It was a great show. Let's see who else is here. Audible Video wants some pitch-enhanced presentation of a classic. Well, you may just get that. The Falcro's in the house. Hello, Falcro. Good to see you. Hugh Caldwell, much love to you, my friend. Ed B. Medals hanging out. Matt Prokowski is here as well. Thomas is slinging links. Yeah, you can do super stuff if you want to. It does help. Become a member for $1 a month. Or become a Patreon. And yes, this app is available for a win on the Patreon this week. There's a lot of giveaways this week on Patreon. Like nearly everything I've covered this week is on the Patreon for giveaway. So go back during the week. That's like 6 apps. It's pretty good. And there's more to come because the end of the week is not fully here, if you know what I'm saying. All right, I think we've got most people. If you're lurking as well, McLurkerson. I need to cover a few things. Let's Oge. Friday, there's been a bit of a gap in entertainment these days, hasn't there? Since somebody took their ball and went home. And Valerie Butt does a show on Friday US UK time, which is like about, 6 a.m. my time. And I just thought, what a perfect place to bring back Walk With Me. So this Friday US UK time, Walk With Me is back. Have I filmed it yet? No, I'm filming it today, so who knows what's going to happen. Walk With Me will be back, hopefully now going forward, every Friday US UK time and Saturday morning Australia time at 8 a.m. This time on a Friday, yeah? So I think what I'm going to do today is I'm going to walk around my new area where I live and walk all the way back to my old house and show you where I used to live, and only like a few months ago. Because I never actually filmed that place because I lived there. And I didn't want you motherfuckers to know where I lived. But now I can show you just how horrible it was. But yeah, we'll go out, we'll feed some ducks, go do some stuff, and just walk around where I live. And that'll kick off some more adventures that are coming in. I can tell you, going forward, Walk With Me will transfer into some interesting episodes of Bike With Me. Just keep your eyes peeped. Now, I'm not going to say too much about what's happening here on the channel, what changes I'm making, because every time I do, and somebody steals the idea. So, no more. But Bike With Me is a thing, and it will be coming shortly. I'll give you more. If you want to do that, then you do that, Leela. How about Leela do that show? There we go, right there. There's Leela's new show. I'm sure all the men will love that. All right, let's get into it. I need to remind everybody there's a new new demo dropping sometime today. That is for Almond Break Generator. It's been recorded. It's in the can, ready to go. So check out that one. It'll be later sometime in the next 20 to 12 hours, something like that. It'll drop. Tomorrow on the show, we've got our special guest, Russ. And yes, we're doing the Music for Life 2025 launch. So that's very exciting. Find out all the details on how to get your song in the Music for Life charity album that we're doing. Canada, United States, all that jazz. Boom. Awesome. We got Thomas Christ coming up after this show that'll automatically dump you over, but now we're going to jump into Sector. So, as I said, Sector is a 10-year-old app, and it is inter-app audio, so hold on to your britches. It is $8.99. It was recently on sale. It does go on sale every now and again, so if you want to save a few bucks, maybe wait, but we just have had two major sales with the Black Friday and Christmas sales. So who knows how long it's going to be before it drops in price. Inter-app audio, it is, how would you describe it? I guess you would describe it as a slicing, loop slicer kind of thing, yeah? Let me just go, let's see what the App Store says. There's a term it uses, and I can't remember what it is because my brain hurts because there's so much going on in the world. My brain is so painful at the moment. What do they call it? So it's won a heap of awards, yeah? So it's a slice sequencer with loops. But yeah, it's won awards. Proud winner of 2015 Electronic Musicians Editor Awards choice. So it's a very popular app. I've just never covered it before. $8.99. Let's delve in, shall we, and get to it. I'm going to open up. So I need to show you how to open this. Remember, this is inter-app audio. Now, if you're going to use this in anything like GarageBand or Cubasis or anything like that, or AUM, here's the deal. Inter-app audio has been messed with. It doesn't work the way it used to. It's not as good as what it used to be because Apple are apparently depreciating it. Back in 2018, they announced the depreciation of inter-app audio. Still hasn't happened, but they're not giving it any more love. So if you're going to use an inter-app audio app with any DAW, open the app first. Open the app first. I can't stress it enough because I've seen so many people write in so many forums, it doesn't work anymore. I've tried to just open it up first because inter-app audio works a little bit different than AUv3 because you're actually opening the app in the background. That's the way it works. It doesn't record any MIDI or anything like that. It's all, whenever you record inter-app audio, it's going to come out as audio. It's the old school way. Indeed. You've got it, Gary. Well done. See, didn't have to prime you too much. Hello. Who have I missed here? Tremor Bear. G'day, Tremor Bear. MC, fire. There you are. Yeah, KQ Voice plugin, you can go and do that too. KQ Voice plugin, I've done shows on that, on how to use that with Logic, to use inter-app audio with Logic. So there's that. Cool. Open? Well, that's up to you what you should open first. So I'm going to show you anyway. So we're looking at Sector today. So right now I'm going to take my finger or my mouse and I'm going to open Sector first. So there it is. It's now open. It's ready to go. So now if I want to open it in AUM, just swipe up, come over to AUM, select an audio channel and search for Sector. And you're going to see it's an inter-app audio only. So it has the IAA after it. Now I can load it. Now, this is the thing. When I now click on this, it switches to the open app in the background. And it adds this little section down the bottom here that I can flick back to AUM. See that? So this is the way inter-app audio works. Just say you've got a little transport down the bottom, a play and record. Unfortunately, it's in a terrible position because this line's here. But that's just how much they... You know what I'm saying? But it is connected, and now the beautiful thing about this in AUM, I can come over here and add effects if I want, right? So it's, yeah, you're kind of using it as an instrument, but you're not. Just remember you can't record MIDI or anything like that. Whatever you record is going to be audio. But as you'll see how I use this going forward in the show, it's still got a lot of value, let me tell you. So here is a little file I have set up here, and I imported a drum loop from one of my musical projects. Let's see, have I loaded the project? Are we all good? I'm going to come over here, go into this, and we want to bring this down. So I'm going to bring down this to, I think it's about 160. Now you notice as I'm trying to bring this down, it's not allowing me because it's locked to the BPM of the project. So if I come back over here to AUM and now open up the BPM here and bring this down to about, I think it's 65.5. That's just what this is. You'll notice up here now, this is a 1-to-1. So we now have our drum track. So this is just a drum track from one of my utensil songs. And if I hit play, this is the kind of madness you can create. Pretty wild stuff. So I'm going to load up a project that you get. So let's cover the top first up here in our top corner and show you what's going on here. So we've got in the top right hand corner, we've got our projects. You can load projects. So up here you have a whole bunch of demos that are bundled in with the app. So demo all the way up to 12, and then you've got some Kymatica stuff that you can just load in. Let's just click one of them. This 4 on the floor, yes. And what I'm going to do is, just for now, let's just close this, close it out. We'll redo this. I'm just going to open this as a standalone and do it all in standalone for now. And let's load this project again. So 4 on the floor, yes. And now we're back at our BPM. And I'm going to hit play. Hi, Shelly. Okay, so here's where you can load your projects. We've covered that. You can load any of the projects that are in here. There's a whole heap of projects with samples in there as well. So these are all your bundled things. You've got some demos, and anything that you create yourself will end up in this little custom section. So if we swipe back, here's where you save your project. All you got to do is click it, type the name, and that is your new project. It will appear up the top in your load projects. Underneath, you can create a brand new project. Let's do that. Boing. Want to create a new project? Oof. And it's all done. Set back to 0 with a beat that's in here. Okay, so we've got a beat at least. Back over here, we've got some MIDI configurations. You can MIDI map what you want. So you've got some triggers. So the memories, we'll cover memories and the sequence memories, the warp memories. You can actually come in and MIDI learn anything you like here. You've got your channel, your CC, whatever you'd like to do. You can hit your MIDI learn and MIDI learn to an external keyboard or anything like that. So that's cool. You also have your interfaces, so what you're receiving, all your MIDI sections are in there. Sync settings. So you can send your MIDI clock settings out. So if you've got like an external piece of gear, you can do all of that, receive and all that MIDI clock stuff. In here, follow Interapp Audio Host. You're going to want this on for a run, stop, clock, for if you're using this in AUM or GarageBand or anything like that, and MIDI machine control or receive or off. So sync settings are in there. You've got a user guide, and when you click on this, how fancy is this? The user guide is inside the app. So it just pops up like this, tap off, and the user guide will disappear. You've got a little about section. If there's a bug or anything, just hit report a problem. Don't go and leave a shitty review on the App Store. It's terrible practice. Send our sound section next to it. So this is where you can load your own samples. Yes, you can load your own samples. If you click on this, there are samples that are in here as well. So you've got a whole bunch of samples that are here. If you want to check out what they sound like, there's a play button. So you can demo these before you bring them in. You can sort by BPM or name only. That's up to you. Import audio. Now, it's a very outdated app. It doesn't have anything like the Files app in here. So this is what I'm saying, 10 years old. But audio share, you can import directly from audio share. Yeah, because it's linked. It's made by Kymatica. So you can do that, pick any of your songs, import. We'll do that later on. Okay, here's where you can decide how many sectors you have in your little session here. Now you'll see this is set to 16 sectors right now, right? So these, when I click on these, you can see they're highlighted. So there's 16 sectors, and you can see they're all running at the moment into each other. These little lines here are sending the note to there, to there, to there. So when I hit run, they're going around in a circle because they're being told to go, right? So this is why it's called sector. These are individual sectors that you can mess about with because they are spliced. Now you can control how many sectors now are in this loop by coming over here and changing the amount of sectors. So we can bring this right down to something like 3. And now we've got 3 sectors. Hang on, what am I doing? That didn't work. You've got to hit OK. So let's do that. Hit 3, OK. And now we've got 3 sectors in here. And you can tell, you can see these are connected by these colored lines that are going to each other. Now it's going to look messy and you're probably going to get confused. For the longest time, I didn't get into this because I thought, man, it looks confusing. It's actually really not that confusing at all. Not that confusing. So in here, you can up your sectors to a wonderful amount of 32. So this is going to splice the song into even more sectors. And you can see them. So if I click on one, the whole loop has been spliced up into pieces. What's Russ saying? He put order. He said he was going to do it. How long for? He's just deleting his comments. All right. Have fun, Russ. So we'll bring this back to 16 just for the sake of it. Yeah. So, and each time you change that, you can see we've got now 16 sectors back again. All right. So with sectors, you can send these sectors anywhere you want. So let's talk about up here. There are 3 sections up the top here. We've got map, sequence, and warp. Map allows you to point each sector to somewhere else. I'm going to clear. I can now click on this sector over here and then come over here and turn, see what happens? A little line appears, and as soon as I move it, a little pie appears in the middle, and I can decide how much chance this little pie that this sector will send over to this one. Now when I let go, there's a line coming over to this sector. So it has the chance of almost 100% to send this, each time it gets to this sector, to send it over here. Let's hit play. Maybe. There you go. See, it skipped. So we're essentially drawing a roadmap of where we want things to go. So for now, I click on this one, and then once you've clicked on it, then click on any other sector, and then draw where you want. And now we've got 2 lines going across. So we hit play again. And you can go absolutely crazy with this. Click another one. We want this to come over here. And you can just keep going and going. We'll give this one a small chance of it happening. So we're starting to send all these things out to each other by doing this. Now, at any time, if you don't like what you're doing, guess what? You can just clear one, so the last one you did, or just keep clear the last one you did. So you just select the one you want to clear. Yoink, I don't want this one to do this anymore. Click on it, hit clear. Or you can just hold down clear, and it will remove all of them. Pretty easy. Now, if I hold down a sector, click on it, and then hit random, it will send multiple things, or it'll send, you don't know what you're going to get. You're going to get random. So you can see this is now sending to 2 of these. And it could go to any one of them. So let's click on this again and hit random again. And now it's randomized. And you can keep going until you get something that you kind of like. So now we've got the opportunity of this one sector to go out to all of these. Okay, let's clear it. We'll clear it all out. Now, if I don't select any sectors and just hit random and hold it down, it's going to create this. And you can keep randomizing this just by holding down each time, and it'll create a whole brand new one. And you'll notice there, let's hit clear again, hold down. Now, if I hold down all, watch this. It sends everything to everything. It's crazy. Now, we're all over the place. These beautiful patterns. Now, let's hit clear and talk about this all button again. Hold down clear. Now, if I just click on one sector and then hit all, it's going to send from this one sector out to every other sector. So you could come around here and randomly select a sector, hold down all. Oops, I didn't want to do that. Let's clear this, not hold down, clear. So we'll do this again. Click one, hit all, click this one, hit all, click this one, hit all. And we're starting to build these interesting patterns, yeah? Pretty cool. Let's hold down clear again and clear all this out. Now, if I click on one of these and then just do like a random, and then if I hit flip, watch what happens. Now it's been flipped to the opposite side. So over here now has that. You can flip these around very easily. Or we can actually shift them from sector to sector just by shifting one way or shifting the other way. So you've got these little shift options here. And you can do this with individual ones as well too. So let's just clear this out. If I click on this and one over here, and then I hit shift, you'll see it'll shift around the clock face and back, and a flip will flip it the opposite way. So lots of easy ways to flip, and you can do this live while it's playing, you know what I mean? So you can hit run and start flipping around. It's not going to interfere. You're not going to get any like stuttering or anything like that. This is made for live performance and for, you know, recording straight into a DAW, even though inter-app audio. So there's that. Let's just do like a, I don't know, we'll do like just a random like this. You know what, let's just clear it and we'll talk about the next part, which is the sequencer. So you've got a sequencer here and you can have up to, I think it's 64 steps, and you can drag this, right, up and down. So I'm just going left to right, sorry, with the little section down the bottom, and you can see up to 64 steps, 32, it's up to you. And what you can do is now, you'll notice along these, sectors, they've all got different colors. You can start putting these in randomly. So I can choose this one and put it in here, here, maybe down here. Choose this one, put it in here, here, here. Let's go over here and grab this one. And we're adding our own sequence in here. So when we hit play, and we can change the steps of this too, live. Okay, so if we've only got 4 in here, it's just going to keep going back and forward between these. Now notice let's just stop this. So with each of these colors too, if I hold down on one of them and pull down, it gets smaller inside the circle. This is your chance. So this is the chance that this one is actually going to do what it's meant to do and play that particular one. You can go in here and do this, all this kind of stuff. And once again, we've got options here. So if you want hold down clear, it's going to clear everything here. Let's just bring this back up to 32 steps. If you hold down random and let go, you're going to get a random pattern, right? Same kind of deal. If you hold down shuffle, it's going to shuffle the pattern that you have here. So you can go ahead and do that. You can shift them all left and right, the same as the other. Or you can reverse them. So, hey, Chad Freeman and Vincent, g'day, what's going on? So also, let's take into account this over here. Let's reintroduce our map. So we'll do a couple of randoms here, like this. We'll click on this one, add a random over here. So now we've got all of this happening in our map section and our sequencer. So things can get pretty wild. All right, let's talk about warp. Warp is wild. Let's clear both of these out. G'day, Feisty. Come over to our sequencer. We'll clear out our sequencer. Warp is the last section. Now, these are bonkers. I'm just going to hit random. So but before we do anything, all of these little sections here do different things to each sector. You can swipe with your finger, scroll down. There's a whole lot of these things. But we'll show you how you can hear them clearly in a moment. But you can go in and just hold down random, and it's going to add a whole bunch of randomization. Now, when we play this, So these are a whole bunch of effects that you can add in here. And if I select just, let's clear this. So I'll hold down clear and it'll get rid of them all. If we just select one of these, we can come in here and choose any one of these. So I'm just going to choose this one. And now each time it gets around to this, in fact, let's do this. Let's change our project here. Come into our section here, and let's bring the sectors down so we can hear this a little better. We'll keep it at 8. So each sector is a little bit bigger. So this one's scratching each time. EF dots, E urban. Let's change it. So we're getting that double. Triple, 4, hey, Ron Woolston Studio and Denise. So you can hear these are pretty cool. So that last one is just a little bit of silence. Now, and you'll notice underneath this sector, there's a little white line. And in the middle here, we've got 4. You can actually add 4 of these to each sector, and it's decided on which one's going to play by probability. So you'll see as I turn this up, the probability of this one goes down to 65 and this one's 35. And you can come in here, you can choose individual sections for each of these. So I might want this here, this one I might want that one, this one I might want this. So now each time they come around, you could get any one of these 4. But it gets better in here because not only can you allow them to go forward, you can make some of them go backwards. And you can do this for each sector. And if you don't want to go the painstaking concept of picking them individually, you can just hit random. So I've picked this one here, and I'm going to hit random. So that, see how I held that down? That randomized all of the sectors, right? So now they're all randomized. So let's clear it and let's just hit random. So I'm going to pick this one and hit random. We'll pick this one and hit random. We'll pick this one down here and hit random and hit play. And I might want to copy this one here. Well, there's a copy button over here. Hit copy, move to the next one and hit paste. Copy, paste. They're both here, so you can copy, paste, move them around. Remembering too that we still have sequencer back here, which has got nothing in it. So let's randomize that. And let's come over to our map and randomize this. And chaos ensues. So shit can get pretty cray-cray, if you know what I'm saying. We're at our halfway point, folks, so I need to run our ad. We do it at 6 minutes late. I need to remember that for today. All right. You can avoid the ad by becoming a YouTube Premium subscriber or by skipping the ad, and we will be back here after the ad. So let's run the ad. It's been run. Yoink. And done. While we're waiting, remember, folks, tomorrow here on the channel, me and Russ are back here talking about the Music for Life 2025 charity album. We implore you to send your songs in so you can be a part of it, raising money for kids with cancer. We did it back in, 2023? And it was an outstanding success. And we will be telling you all the details, announcing the form so you can send your songs there, announcing what you need for mastering. All the information will be dropped tomorrow here on the show. And the day after, Walk With Me is back. So put that in your calendar, Friday. The usual time that this show normally starts on Friday, though, Walk With Me is back. So come, please, walk with me and let's Oj. All right, let's get back into this now. Ads are done. So pretty cool stuff. Now, if I decided I wanted to save this, well, guess what? I can come over to our project up here and I can save this. I can save the project and say, show demo. Let's just show demo. And it's going to save everything. It's going to save all these sections here that are locked in. But what it also saves is this part down the bottom. So these are like our little chapters. I can't remember what the exact name is for them, but you've got 4 of them for each. And M stands for map, S stands for sequence, and W stands for warp. So not only can you have all these locked in here, you can have 4 of them down here. So I can click on, we're on map at the moment. I can come to number 2, see this is blank. And I can just go, say, drag one over here and say, do a all for this one. And then I can come over to the next pattern and just do, say, another random like this. Come over to number 4 and just say, send this one over here. And this one over here. And that's it. And when I flick between these, they're all saved. So when I save a project as well, all of this information gets saved too. So we come over here to our sequence and I can come over to number 2 and do a random if I want, like so. Number 3, and I can just draw in a few like this. And so when we're playing live, I've got all these options to come in and switch patterns very easily. Let's just quickly throw in a couple of these. That'll do. And we'll come over lastly to our warp. And we've got number 2 here. So let's just do a random. Everything's been randomized. Let's come over to number 3 and just randomize a couple of them. And now when we bring this all back to 1, 1, and 1, hit run. We can change these up on the fly. So the amount of mixing for this is just limitless. Yeah, you can go absolutely bonkers, but don't freak out and think it's just for drums. You can put pretty much anything in here and chop all of this stuff up. Plus, there's also a little live playing feature down the bottom here. So you can see the colors we have throughout here. So there's 4 colors. Well, every time I click one of these, it's going to start at that point. So during a live performance, if I hit run and tap this, it's going to reset to whatever I choose. And if I hold down on this, this little screen pops up, tap sector to set trigger. Now you have to keep it held down. And then I'll show you, take your finger and choose a sector. So now every time I tap this, that sector gets triggered. I can come over here, hold down, tap. Now this sector will be triggered as well. So perfect for live performance. Hold down again. Let's just say this one here. So great for live performance. Now you've probably seen this thing over here moving about. It does nothing. It's just a little sexy little sexy little animation to kind of show you what's going on, what colors, what sectors are being played. So now if I save this, if I come up to my project here and hit save project, I will try that again without the mouse moving by itself, save project and hit show demo, it not only saves all of this information that's in here, it saves all of this information down here and all of this information down here. So your complete project is in a saved project ready to go. You want to load your project there, it'll appear up the top under custom. We good? I think we're good, yeah? So, not only that, but you can record your things within the standalone app. So we can come over here and we can actually, there's a little rewind button here. So you can go back to the start. This is your play button. If we hit this little record button up the top, as soon as I hit play, we're recording. And I can start live jamming. Clearing stuff out, shifting stuff around. And as soon as I stop the recording, you'll find up in your projects a little section, in our, where are we? It's over here. Recordings. And there is the recording. We can hit play. Or I can click on it and it will load the sample in. So now you can reload that sample back into Sector and fuck with it even more. Or you can export it straight to Audio Share, or you can copy it to your copy. You can share it. Let's open it in Audio Share. And here it is, waiting for us in Audio Share. So yes, inter-app audio still has some uses. Absolutely it does. So here, from here you can import this into a DAW, do whatever the fuck you want with it. That's up to you. I'm not here to tell you what to do. Pretty cool. Let's just come back to Sector over here. Just so you know too, there is a volume. So if we hit play over here, you've got an overall volume. And you can see what's going on over here, the little representation of your WAV file. Let's clear this out. Let's just load a standard demo. I'm going to just clear these out. So here's our beat with it all cleared out. And what I can tell you here is with in regards to the BPM at the top. If I change the BPM now, the pitch is going to go down with the BPM. And you can see that going down over here in a representation. So it's going down 0.603. If I bring this back up to where it was, 98 BPM, this particular sample, it's at 1:1. So that's how you know it's back in the right timing, yeah? But there's a little unlock thing in the middle here. If I hit this, Now I can bring the BPM down and keep the right pitch. But you're going to get some kind of artifacting and that stuff in there as well too. So be aware of it. And if you hit lock, it'll bring it back to normal. You can also come in here and mess with the speed. You can actually do divisions from within the sound section, and you can see the speeds come down like 0.267, or you can speed up to 4 times. So it's still playing at 98 BPM. So as you can see, it's not really that complicated. I, for one, looked at this app for a long time. Was like, man, that looks too much. But it's not. It really isn't. Like, I was surprised at how uncomplicated it really is. But let's import our own sample and mess around a little bit. We got some time before we get out of here. And I'll show you how easy that is to do so. So let's go over to our sound in our sound section as well. Not only can you load the demos, so you've got all these project demos here. So there's all our project demos. No, I don't think they can be different lengths unless you're adding the warp to them. You're kind of warping them that way. So you've got all these projects in here, but also what you have is, hi Shelley. What you do have in here as well, so no, that's a no. You do have samples. So there's a heap of samples that are provided to you. So let's load this up. Oh, let's load that one up and hit play. Now, what happened there? Let's explain. You can click on one of these and replace whatever this is with a sample. So let's come in here and load a sample. Let's load this one. Oh, there's a whole sample. That was wrong of me. And there's heaps of them to mess around with. Right? Heaps of them. And what's nice is they tell you what BPM they should be. So these are 120. So let's bring these up to 120. Now, if you tap the arrows up here, you can do points of the BPM. So 120.6 or whatever you want. So, but there's a heap of them in there. But let's import my own. We'll go to import audio share. I'm going to grab something from my utensil, one of my utensil songs, if I can find it. I can't remember what the BPM is, but we'll work it out. Here we go. Wave, singles, loops. So we'll pick drums. Let's choose this one. So you can tell this isn't at the right speed because we've got 0.96 here. I'm pretty sure, I can't even remember what the actual sample rate is of this. It's 131, there you go. So if you want to find out what the sample rate is, you come over here, open up sound, and click on the speed, and it will bring it to 1 and give you your BPM. Let's randomize it. Hey Joe Glenn, good to see you today. Hope you're well. Let's load something else in here. And we'll clear this out. So yeah, all these loops are in 131. You can tell up here they're 1 to 1. It's so cold in Canada at the moment and so hot in Australia, and God, the weather. Nothing to see here, folks. The weather's fine. So this is just doing its own thing. I love that slowdown. So these are all the warps that are happening. Hey, Jim Shannon. Pretty damn fine. So let's leave this for a second. I'm going to make something in Logic quickly. Let's try and make just something funky. Oh, well, saved, whatever. Let's come over here and make a project. Let's create it. I don't want to do that. Cancel. I want to come into Logic Pro. And let's just make something. We've got tracks. We're going to do some MIDI. So we'll choose a session player for a drummer. And let's do something funky. So we've got some funk rock or funky songwriter. What's that all about? Probably not what I want. What about funk rock? That's kind of better. All right. We'll open up a little panel here, create a brand new MIDI channel. And what do we want? We want some loops. Let's do loops, and we'll type funk. What about bass? What do we got here? Funk bass. We've got funk guitar. So let's just throw that in. Oops, where'd it go? Where'd you go? Where? Try that again. Funk, bass. We'll drag that in. Do that down here. And let's just loop it. Thank you. Please just loop that. That'd be nice. And we'll do a guitar, shall we? Funk guitar. And what do we got here? Sounds good for me. I'm not really, trying to make anything super spectacular here. Just delete this. So let's halve that. Let's halve this. Stop. We'll split this one. And we'll bring these back in. I'm just making a loop just to show you. So nothing too exciting here. And let's export this as an uncompressed WAV file. So there's our little thing. That sucks. I didn't edge it, did I? Let's do that. Come here. try that again. Cut it off there so it's that length. We'll send this out. I know the base is a bit sloppy, but it's all good. That's what she said. It did it again. What the fuck? I don't know why it keeps doing that. I don't know. Logic's a fucking nightmare. I've cut it off at 4 bars. It shouldn't go any... Oh, I know why. Hang on. Let's do that again. Just go entire length. That should be fine. It's cut off there. Maybe it'll work this time. Jesus Christ. It didn't. Oh, Mike. Oh, yeah, I am too. Sorry. It's been a while since I've exported anything. Thanks, Leela. Leela's on the ball today. I'm not. Include tail. Where are we? Turn off the S. We did. Get rid of that. Goodbye. Good God. Yoink. There we go. So let's import this in now. Thanks, Leela. Over to sector. Let's import load sample. We want to go import audio. Audio share, there it is. And we'll clear all this out. And then we're going to get out of here for today. And you can go about your business because Thomas Christ is coming up soon. So here's our sample. And it's really slow. So we're going to come in here and tap the little speed. Yeah. Yeah. Let's just do a few sectors. Pretty fucking wild. Not only can you record this in here, remember you can open this up. We've got it open already, so you can open up stuff like AUM or GarageBand or whatever, create an audio track, bang. So remember it's an inter-app audio. There it is, sector, and it is now connected to this. So you're going to want to need to change the BPM here. I think it was at 190. I'm correct. And then you can add your own stuff to it. Like DJ Looper. Which I looked at. The last video I uploaded was DJ Looper, Lo-Fi Dojo DJ Looper. And you can mess about with this as well. Or whatever you want to add. And remember, while you're in here, like with something like AUM, you can record in here too, but just by hitting the record down the bottom, hitting record. Save the tail, hit record. Boom. And you're going to find that in your files, recordings. That's what we just recorded just then. Play. And export this into anything you want to go further and splice it in something else. And it's endless. A lot of fun. Now, I'm so glad I come back. After 10 years this app has been out, it still has a lot of relevance, a lot of value, I believe. And they're just not making iPad apps like this anymore, where I mentioned this the other day, where iPad apps used to be very tactile and you were touching and a part of this stuff. And more we're getting apps from desktop, which are ports from desktop, and these kind of original, unique things that we used to touch and move our iPads with the accelerometer, they're just not around as much. So we need to remember sometimes, and Russ teaches me this all the time, sometimes having all the new apps ain't the best. You've got all these amazing old apps sitting in your arsenal that you've just forgotten about because we're humans and, shiny, new. So maybe the next song you work on, try looking back through your catalog, and you can always do. Here's the best way to do this: open up your App Store, and click on your little photo up the top here. And once you've done that, wait for it to load. I don't know why my App Store is loading so slow at the moment. It's ever since the latest iOS update. Click on Apps. Click on All. And then just scroll through all the way down here. Look at this. And go back to a time that history forgot to think. Now, you're going to see a lot of this. Trust me. Look at all these apps that don't work anymore. Look at all these apps I spent money on in the past and don't work. Video games, man. Oh. Listen, I'm going to go on a quick rant here. People complain about, music apps going, it hasn't been updated for a long time. Why do they want extra money for updating it? Listen, there is no worse industry on iOS than the gaming industry. Just look at how many of these games. Now, this was back, I used to pay for all these fucking games. None of them work anymore. None of them. These are all big names. Resident Evil, Pac-Man, Time Crisis. Look, it's all games. Slender Rising works, but look, Braveheart. How many of these games don't work anymore? Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, FIFA Sports 13, none of them work. These EA Sports are the worst. They just don't update them. They just let them languish, let them die. They take your money and they don't give a fuck about you. And that's true too. When everything changed from 32-bit to 64-bit, killed heaps of apps. But we're talking about premium apps here. These FIFA games cost like $20 and shit. They really should have just updated them. You know what I mean? But yeah, my point was to go back here and find some old music apps that you haven't used. Yeah, because, and even not on this iPad, you can do it that way. You'll find something that you forgot all about and may make something really cool with. All right, rant over. That's done. All right, so we're getting out of here for today. Thomas Christ is up next. He's happening in about 55 minutes. I will automatically dump you over to his channel so you can go ahead and watch that in 55 minutes time. He's doing You Rock, where he plays your most rockin' music. And it's one of the best music shows here on YouTube. And you can always send your music into him and he'll play your music gladly, because there's no point owning all these apps if you're not making any fucking music. You just end up collecting a lot of apps. There's a lot of people who do that. Apps aren't Pokemon. You don't need them all, just the ones that make you make better music. All right, thanks all for being here. Love you lots. Remember, tomorrow, me and Russ are here talking about the Music for Life charity album. And on Friday, Walk With Me is back. And if you are a Patreon, guess what? There's some copies of this app that we looked at today about to go up. I think they just went up on the Patreon. You can become a Patreon for $5 a month and you have a chance to win nearly every app I look at each and every week here. Thanks, Thomas, for banging it in there. $1 will get your music mastered each and every week. $5 or up, you get a chance to win a heap of apps. All right, let's Oj. Do the things that make you happy. Mistakes make you better. Stay awake and let's Oj.